All right, so in this tutorial, we will be completing the process for setting up and completing a payroll tax return. We're going to start by going to our Tax Administration Jamaica website, which we find at jamaicatax.gov.jm. We're going to click Log In. Enter our username and password in order to set up our payroll account. Now that we've logged in, we're going to go ahead and click this button under Manage My eServices account. And now we've logged into our tax administration portal. Now, in order to get set up for payroll, what you have to do is to register for the account with tax office. So we're going to go over here under the I want to section, and we're going to click this link that says register for account. Now on this page, it asks us what we want to do. What service do we want to register for? Now we're going to go ahead and read this section here about the service, what you need, and after you finish. This is just the tax office guiding you through what to expect when applying for this account. So we're going to go ahead and click the next button at the bottom of the screen. Now this brings us to page 2. So as usual, whenever we're completing any submission on the TAJ portal, we're going to read what it says here. It says, select the account you wish to register for and the start date for that account. Indicate if the account should be registered on a branch, and if so, include the corresponding branch number. So at this point, we're going to select payroll accounts from the list here. The first employee commenced employment. For this example, our date will be January 2024. And this asks us for a branch number. Now, a branch number is basically just a code for the tax office to use to know which location you want your account to be registered at. And for this example, we're going to go with 0001. Those are usually the default branch codes that we use when registering with the Tax Administration Jamaica. We can just use that, or you can contact the tax office at the number we're going to display on the screen, and they will give you an appropriate branch code for the location that you want to register this account. For this example, we're going to use branch code 0001. Then we're going to go ahead and select the next button. Now we're here on page 3, which is our confirmation page, and it gives us a summary of our application. Please review the account information and confirm that you understand the implications of registering for this account. Now, every time you register for a new account with the tax office, you will see this request, and it asks you to confirm that this request is being made to register payroll accounts, PAYE, NHT, NIS, education tax, and HART to allow for the submission of returns and payments in accordance with the relevant legislations. Now we're going to select submit because we do want that payroll account so that we can file our payroll tax returns for our employees. Now, when we click submit, we're going to see the confirmation box pop up here. Declare to the best of your knowledge that this is a true statement. Are you sure you want to submit? We're going to ensure that our date of first employee commencement is correct. Branch code is correct. We've selected the correct account. We're going to go ahead and select OK. Now our confirmation window appears here, and it says, thank you for submitting this request. You have a confirmation number. Your request will be processed and you'll be notified when this request is approved or denied. You're usually notified by an email to the connected email account that tax office has for you, as well as a web letter that appears here in your portal. You can also print this request or go back to the home screen. So we're going to go ahead and select OK to go back to our home screen, and then we'll now wait on the tax office to get back to us on the registration of our payroll account. As soon as we're registered for payroll, we will begin filing our payroll taxes. Now that we've requested our payroll tax account set up from the tax office, we've received confirmation that that is done. And we see the relevant link appearing here. So now we have, under the Accounts tab, PAYE activated for our tax portal. So we're going to go ahead and click this link to begin filing our PAYE returns. All right, now that we are in our PAYE filing section, we see the periods here for which we have file a return. Here we see the period and we see the due date. And right here we have the file return link with the caution icon showing that a filing is outstanding. We're going to go ahead and click the file return link. Now, on page 1, we see the name of the form here. This is SO1, Employers SO1. That's the name that it's most popularly known by. And we're going to begin filing this return. Now, we can do this in one of two ways. We can provide our employee data manually or in an Excel file upload. So I'm going to go ahead and download the Excel template so that you can see what that Excel file looks like. All right, now we've downloaded the Excel file provided by the tax office, and we can use this to bulk upload. So if you have 5 employees or more, you can enter all of their information here, and it will be automatically uploaded for each employee to the tax administration portal when you are filing. In this example, we're only going to submit the information for 1 employee, but I'm going to go through this file and show you how we would complete it for 1 employee. Now, our employee's name, the employee that we have at ABC Limited, we're going to assume that John Brown, he puts himself on payroll and pays himself a fixed income every month. So we're going to enter the information for John Brown right here. So his surname would be Brown. First name, John. And I'm going to say his middle initial is C for Christopher. So we're going to enter his TRN here and his NIS. 。 Gross emoluments means his total pay. So you would see an employee's total pay from the information that is provided on their pay slip. You can also receive what we call a payroll register from your accountant. But if you're doing this on your own as a sole trader for your employees, you would enter the total amount that you pay them here. So that includes salaries, wages, fees, bonuses, overtime pay, commissions, and you enter that total here. So we're going to say John Brown is paid a total of $100,000 per month. So that would be his gross pay. Gross emoluments in kind, that would be any bonus or gratuity that was paid to John for the relevant month. John was not paid any bonus in February, so we're going to leave that at 0. Superannuation or pension. Now, John is paying pension, and as per his payslip, we see that the pension payment he makes is $2,000 per month. Number of weekly NIS and NHT contributions for the month. This column is here to facilitate those who are voluntary contributors. For those who are employers who are filing for their employees, this number would be 4. Now, here is where some calculation would take place. For the purpose of this exercise, we're just going to enter some numbers, but we will provide you with an Excel spreadsheet that you can download as a free accompaniment to this tutorial where the formulas are already included. So all you would have to do is to enter the amount that is calculated for you on that Excel spreadsheet in this form. So we're going to go ahead and enter an amount here. So we're going to say our total NIS for the month is 6,000. Our NHT would be 5,000. Education tax is, we're just going to put that number there for the time being, 5,557.5. And this column asks you for PAYE income tax or a refund amount. So because $100,000 per month is less than our income tax threshold, John does not pay income tax. So we're going to put that at 0. But if you have employees who do pay income tax because their monthly remuneration is above the income tax threshold, then you would enter the income tax amount as calculated, whether by your accountant or by the spreadsheet in this column. Now that you know how to complete the Excel file, if you were using the Excel file, you would select Upload Excel File here, and then you would click this button to import the Excel file into the TAJ portal. When you import the file, it would pick up the file from wherever you have saved it, and the information would be automatically fed into the tax administration portal. So for the purpose of this example, we're going to go with manual entry because we only have one employee for ABC Limited, and that's John Brown. So we're going to go ahead after selecting manual entry or upload Excel file, whatever the case may be, and then we're going to go ahead and select next. Now this window shows the electronic version of that Excel sheet that we had looked at earlier, but we're going to manually enter the information here. So under surname, we're going to enter Brown because that's John's last name. His first name is John. His middle initial is C. Going to enter his TRN. and we're going to enter an NIS number for him. Gross emoluments, that's his gross pay, pay before deductions. That's what gross emoluments means. And that's $100,000. He didn't have any bonuses. And you'll notice here, gross emoluments exclude bonus and gratuities. And this is gross emoluments in kind include bonuses and gratuities. So the situation may vary depending on the benefits that you offer to your employees, right? But John doesn't have any bonuses or gratuities. He just gets a gross pay of $100,000. For his pension, we're going to enter the $2,000. Number of weekly NIS and NHT contributions, that's 4. NIS amount, we are going to put that at 6,000. NHT at 5,000, and education tax 557.5. PAYE / income tax will remain at 0 because John's gross pay or gross yearly pay would be less than the income tax threshold. Now that we've completed this section, we're going to go ahead and click next. On this page, we need additional information. Now, entering general information for the business, they ask first for an NIS reference number. Now, this is the NIS number that you see on your business registration certificate or your company registration documents if you're a limited company. So we're going to go ahead and enter that number here. Number of persons employed for the month, 1 employee who is John Brown. Number of NHT and NIS contributors, 1 employee. He is not a heart trainee. If you have heart trainees working in your establishment, you would have to put the number of them here because that is deductible. So for the purpose of this example, we did a calculation. We added up the totals for our NIS, NHT, heart, and education tax. And the number we got was 2142.1. And then we'll go ahead and select next. Now on this page, we see where all our deductions so far have been auto-filled except for our heart contribution. Now the heart contribution is calculated at the rate given by the government. For the purposes of this example, we're just going to enter a number that we have just as a filler number. So we're going to assume that that is our heart contribution for the month. If we had heart trainees at our establishment, which we don't at ABC Limited, or if John was a heart trainee, we would put that amount in credit here, and your accountant would be able to tell you the total, or you can get that total calculated on the spreadsheet that we'll provide as part of this tutorial. Now here, we see that our net tax payable is equal to the total of our heart deduction, or NIS deduction, or NHT deduction, and our income tax deduction. But John is not liable for income tax because his gross pay is below the tax threshold. So we want to keep that in mind, that for employees below the tax threshold, the income tax line remains blank. For employees above the tax threshold, we would have to calculate the income tax amount that is due for them, and we would have entered that on the emoluments page, page 2. So now that all our deductions and contributions are entered here. We're going to go ahead and select next. Now on this page, we see a summary of the form. We can review the information that we entered, our NIS reference number, the number of persons employed for the month, the number of NIHT and NIS contributors, any heart trainees, gross emoluments totaled. And we see the breakout here that we saw on the previous page. When we've completed this return, we can go ahead and click submit. When we click submit, we are going to see this pop up saying, I declare that to the best of my knowledge and belief, this is a true and correct statement. And are you sure you want to submit this return? Now, in order to submit, we'll select OK. Once we select OK here, we see our confirmation screen appear. We can print a copy of our return. And if we made a change, or if we need to make a change, rather, you will see that while it's still pending, you can return to your account to modify, withdraw the return, or make a new one. So now that our filing is over, we're just going to go back to our home page by clicking OK. Now we see that it's submitted. We don't have any outstanding returns. So we can go ahead and go back to our home page where we will see the balance due to be paid. You can make payments here by clicking make payment. We could also have made payment for our PAYE taxes by clicking the make payment link under the I want to section on our tax portal. So that's how you file your payroll taxes. Thank you for watching our tutorial on payroll tax filing. Let us know in the comments what you'd like to learn about next, and remember to like this video, share it with someone you think it would help, and subscribe to our channel for more updates.